Let the ball come to you, then throw it. The ball is coming to us. And the other thing that I place a lot of stock in are these organic town halls. These are not being organized by Democratic interest groups. These are not being organized by the DNC. These are just people coming up and saying, we don't like this at all. And you're seeing it in as you point out, very, very smart in Georgia, in Wisconsin, in Oregon. I saw something even in Idaho. You know, when you're starting to lose Idaho, you got some problems. So I think we just have to play possum for a little while, just let them keep coming. And Musk will turn out, if they keep him, will be the greatest generator, let me be very serious, very specifically, the greatest generator of Democratic turnout ever, more than Barack Obama.
Democratic strategist James Carville predicting Elon Musk's work in the Trump administration will actually benefit the Democratic Party. Carville followed up those remarks with a guest essay for the New York Times entitled, "It's Time for a Daring Political Maneuver." Democrats, in which he urges the party for the moment to, quote, roll over and play dead. So is it play possum or
well,
what is it?
Only James Carville would say, here's your daring political move. Roll over and play dead. I don't know that that's the case. You know, Lauren, it's very interesting right now on Doge. What's interesting as Axios reported, generally it's a popular idea. Like generally, if you ask people, what do you think about this Doge idea to cut waste, fraud, and abuse of the federal government? They'll go, hey, that's a great idea. You talk about the specifics, though, suddenly, and when people see it in their own life, suddenly it becomes more unpopular. So it does seem Democrats need to push the message of, you know, flight safety being impacted, nuclear safety being impacted, food safety being impacted, the medication that we give our children and our parents being. I mean, you could go down the list where they've actually fired people and had to bring them back, but there's a lot of cutting here. That's a problem. But I will say, and I'm curious what your thoughts are. Doge is just a drop in the bucket, as Mike Allen has said, fiscally. But also politically, when we start seeing these massive cuts voted on, it's going to impact hospitals in upstate New York, hospitals in central Pennsylvania, hospitals in Alabama, universities in Alabama, universities in Iowa, research funding for Alzheimer's. Go down the list. These massive cuts are going to impact people's lives in red state America. And I just wonder how willing they are to gut hospitals from upstate New York to Nevada.
Right. And look, everywhere I go, I actually hear, I think in our bubble, we all feel a lot of sense of frustration and rage at Musk. I'm not sure people feel that way so much across the country yet. I hear a lot of folks say, you know, look, I don't like his methods, but at least he's finding corruption ways. They've been very effective at trying to persuade people that they're actually doing a good service. But I agree with you that most Americans have felt so disconnected from government. This thing that Elon Musk is doing far away doesn't touch their lives. But as soon as it starts to get personal and starts to be in their backyard, I do think that starts to change things. And you're seeing that, you know, with folks that, you know, who've lost their state government jobs or who aren't getting access to services. So in a sense, you know, Congress overstepping with his budget is this huge gift. And I really disagree with James Carville. I actually think Democrats have to step up and keep making the case that all of this is happening not to make government better, but to enrich people like Elon Musk. Like, you have to keep saying that. They have been, but they're going to have to keep hitting that from now till the end of the election cycle.
Well, here's one thing. One Democratic lawmaker from California is fighting back against the cuts made by the Department of Government Efficiency, specifically regarding veterans. Congressman Derek Tran has introduced the Protect Veterans Jobs Act, which would allow for the reinstatement of any veteran who was fired from federal employment since President Trump took office. And Congressman Tran joins us now. He's a member of the House Armed Services Committee and the House Small Business Committee. He's also an Army veteran. So thank you very much for joining us. Tell us about the bill, and is it going to have widespread support?
Good morning. The bill itself is the Protect Veteran Jobs Act, and I just wanted to make sure that those veterans that were dismissed from their federal jobs without cause find a place back in the government and the jobs that they work so hard to get. And that there's also a requirement that executive agencies report on future terminations of veterans. You know, this is a bill that I believe where I can get people to get behind it because, you know, these veterans have given up so much to protect us, and the least we can do is have their back when they need us.
So it looks here like perhaps you don't agree with James Carville's advice to Democrats: roll over and play possum, play dead, and maybe perhaps look for legislation to introduce that shows the negative effects of what Republicans are doing.
You know, I think there is a time for us to act. As an Army veteran myself, you know, I take deep offense to what's happening to my fellow brother and sisters who don the uniform. And this is my time to step up and be proud of a piece of legislation where I can do something to help them.
Lauren.
Congressman, I wanted to ask you not just about the veteran employees, but also the folks who are veterans who are losing their jobs because of the cuts of contractors. I have good friends who employ hundreds of vets. Service-disabled vet agencies have been a preferred government contractor. They've all had to freeze their jobs and fire a lot of the vets that work for them. Have you been thinking about how to address all the contractor force that are also losing their jobs that are veterans?
Yeah, 100%. I am continuing to monitor the situation with my colleagues. This is a crisis, and you know what I want to make sure is that the ones that don the uniform to protect our country, who served our country honorably, and now wants to continue serving our country at a federal level, in a federal job, we got to make sure we take care of them.
All right, Democratic Congressman Derek Tran of California, thank you so much for coming on the show this morning. We appreciate it.